Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm super pumped because we are finishing up summer strong inside of the clubhouse. We have 19 teams who have been seeing great progress, staying consistent with their workouts and their step count. They're hitting it hard, and I love seeing the dedication as they stay on track through the summer. So a new episode drops every Monday. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss one. This past week on my Instagram, it was a very special post. It was about my husband who lost 30 pounds, and I'm super proud of him. We did the shred together, and I would love for you to head over to Kelly Counts Macros, Counts with a K, and check it out to see his amazing before and afters. He had so many non-scale victories, one of them being that all his cholesterol levels are in the normal range. So that was huge as well. This past week in the clubhouse, we have a new recipe every Tuesday, and we had a copycat Chick-fil-A recipe that was super duper yummy. It was filled with protein. And what's great about the clubhouse is we have a cookbook, everything all in one spot. You click on the link, it goes right into the app. So you just make the food, weigh your portion, and feed your people. Super easy peasy. I would love if you would share a review with me, leave a review. I read every single one. It helps me reach more people. And that is my goal, to reach more people and to change the next generation when it comes to the dieting mentality. So this is the best way for you to help me, is by leaving a review. So the topic of this episode, how do we make choices that align with goals mid-afternoon and in the evening? We're going to talk about a different kind of snack that makes you feel better, both immediately and in the long run. We'll also unpack the science behind that stubborn and actually dangerous belly fat, the visceral fat, and how simple lifestyle shifts can add years to your life. So, what exactly is this afternoon or evening snack? Now, you may be thinking, oh, she's probably going to say protein, but it's an exercise snack. It's precisely what it sounds like, just a short, vigorous burst of physical activity throughout your day. Think of it as a mini, teeny tiny workout that doesn't require special gear or a trip to the gym. So instead of heading to the fridge for comfort in the evening after the kids go to bed, or reaching in that candy bowl at 2 p.m. because you feel like you need energy, you're going to head for a quick burst of movement. These are also the minutes that you are increasing your NEAT, so that non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So a lot of times what I see with my clients, and also myself back in the day, was I would run for an hour and a half, or I would do my 45-minute to an hour workout, and then I didn't really do much the rest of the day. So this is where the exercise snacks come in, and it will really help with your mood and changing your body comp, and also getting your brain stimulated. So what are some examples of exercise snacks? Maybe you can walk fast up the stairs at work instead of using the elevator. You can play tag with your child or your grandchild for a couple of minutes. If you have a pet, you can play vigorously with them, a puppy or a dog. Even simple things like air squats or a high knee walk up a hill, perhaps in your backyard or in your neighborhood. In fact, my client Ange, she puts on her red light therapy mask for her skin, for her face, and she does squats, and she posts videos inside of the clubhouse, and I just love seeing her doing that. So these are feel-good movements, but they're also backed by powerful science. The concept is often referred to as vigorous, intermittent lifestyle physical activity. So research has shown that even just 3 minutes, 3 times a day, this can lead to significant health improvements. Studies indicate that you have a less chance of cancer. You have a 50% less chance of cardiovascular disease. So these short efforts aren't just about physical health. They're also about your boosting your mood and improving your brain health, and you age better. So let's kind of talk about the neurochemistry of this. Let's talk about why these exercise snacks make you feel better. It's all about your body's natural pharmacy. If you've been around me long enough, you always know that I say movement is a natural medicine. I wish that doctors would prescribe it more for so many things, including anxiety. So I'm not going to go off on another topic there, but when you engage in activity, your body releases endorphins. So these are those incredible feel-good hormones that act as natural pain relievers and mood elevators. You can even sometimes smile to trigger that endorphin release. Okay. There's another fascinating aspect. So the role of dynorphins. When you push yourself during these brief, vigorous activities, you might experience a moment of discomfort. I know that I have moments of discomfort when I'm working out, when I'm strength training, when I'm walking up a hill, and this discomfort, it triggers the release of dynorphins. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they act as opioids, and they can create a temporary feeling of unease. But here's the magic. After this release, it actually sensitizes those opioid receptors, making them more responsive to the endorphins later on. This means that after the initial discomfort subsides, the pleasant feelings from endorphins are amplified and last longer. It makes everything else in your day feel easier and more pleasurable. So you get that discomfort out of the way, so the rest of the day feels amazing. And I truly believe this is why we feel better throughout the day when we're moving our body, especially throughout the day and in the morning. So instead of reaching for those Hershey Kisses at 2 p.m. when the stress hits or when you feel like you need energy, consider an exercise snack. It gives you the ability to handle the stress of that moment. Okay. It's the powerful shifting of that chemistry in your brain for the better. And this truly is super helpful for my clients that sit all day long at desk jobs, or principals that have stressful jobs, or anyone that feels that mid-afternoon stress or evening cravings when they just want to sit down with a gallon of ice cream or sit down with a bag of chips and salsa because they had a long, hard day. So let's talk a little bit about fat. So visceral fat is that hidden danger. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit. This is more dangerous than a sugar craving. It's the visceral fat. So this isn't the fat that you can pinch on your belly. That's subcutaneous fat. This visceral fat is the deep, deep belly fat that surrounds your internal organs. It's metabolically active. It produces inflammatory substances that can wreak havoc on your health. If you did not see, like I talked about, pictures of my husband's 30-pound weight loss, or listen to the last podcast episode, pay attention. This is what I'm talking about, the visceral fat, that inner tube around your waist. A lot of people say, I have this inner tube around my waist. I have this belly fat that won't go away because I'm perimenopausal or menopausal. And that creeps up on us as we age. So how do you know if you have too much visceral fat? So just a simple indicator is your waist measurement, your waist circumference, right? So for women, a waist measurement of 35 inches or more is a pretty good sign that you have that excess visceral fat. For men, it's definitely 40 inches or higher. And these aren't just cosmetic concerns. These are serious health warnings. This level of visceral fat can double your mortality, significantly increase your risk of cancer. And these studies show a 44% higher risk of developing cancer. Okay. It's linked to colorectal, to pancreatic, to gastroesophageal. So, and beyond cancer, this visceral fat contributes to the energy crashes because it can disrupt metabolic processes. So when you experience these crashes, your brain automatically thinks that it wants fuel, which is typically something processed. Okay. The Oreos, the chips, the goldfish, the cookies, the ice cream. It's a miserable fat, but here's the good news. If you're in a calorie deficit, because that is how you lose weight, consistently in a calorie deficit, visceral fat is often the first type of fat your body loses. And you can see my husband's waist circumference. Go to my Instagram, check it out. All right. It's very simple to lose, not always easy. It's very simple to lose, calorie deficit, but it's also very easy to gain back. So this is why I emphasize on the habits for the consistently healthy long-term effects. So adding years to your life, right? So how do we combat visceral fat? How do we embrace that healthier, longer life? It just comes down to a few lifestyle patterns. These 5 were found from something I read from Harvard. So this can increase your life expectancy by 12 to 14 years. 12 to 14 years. Okay. Number 1, not smoking. Number 2, maintaining a healthy body weight. Number 3, engaging in exercise snacks. Number 4, not consuming alcohol daily and in excess. Number 5, eating that diet that contains protein, fiber, and nutrients. So these 5 factors significantly reduce your risk of chronic disease, increase your chances of living a healthy, disease-free life, right? We want a quality of life as well as a quantity of life, and you want to live disease-free. So let's touch on some of the other elements that are important. This first one I think is super important, strength training. We have a Clubhouse in-house personal trainer, my sister, Kate Danowski. You need to strength train to increase your muscle mass. The more muscle you have in your body, the better your metabolism works, helps manage your body weight. You look amazing, you feel amazing, your clothes fit better, and you love your body comp. Calorie deficit. I'm going to talk about this again. If you feel like you're doing all the right things, you're drinking enough water, you're getting 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep, you're strength training, you're moving your body, you're getting your steps in, but you're still not losing weight, I'm going to ask you to audit yourself. Are you in a calorie deficit consistently? That doesn't mean perfectly, but it does mean consistently. That means that you're on track most of the time. Okay, that means weekends. That means not every weekend is a YOLO. Not every weekend is a special weekend. So if you're trying to lose weight, that's the only way that you can, and it's through nutrition and a calorie deficit. Sleep rhythm. I think this is often overlooked, but super important. Are you going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time? Our bodies love that rhythm. It's super important for your body's natural rhythm so that your hormones can regulate. Your cortisol can increase to wake you up, and melatonin can increase to settle you down. But if you're socializing 3 to 4 times a week, you're going to bed late, your body gets confused about what time it is. If you ever notice when you're tired, it's typically a combination that becomes a recipe for disaster with overeating and snacking. Alcohol and sleep. So drinking alcohol too close to bed is another common pitfall. I hear this so often. Some people have that misconception that alcohol, a glass of wine, helps them sleep. Okay. While I will agree, maybe it helps you fall asleep faster, it disrupts that REM sleep, leading to poor quality rest. So while it may help you fall asleep, it doesn't help you stay asleep and affects the quality of your sleep. Remember, while genetics do play a role, around 20 to 25%, 80% of your life expectancy is determined by your lifestyle and what we eat. Genetics, uncontrollable. Lifestyle, controllable. I'm going to say that again. Genetics, uncontrollable. Lifestyle, controllable. Genetics play around 20%. Your lifestyle, about 80%. I'd love for you to share this episode on social media and tag me at Kelly Counts Macros so I can personally thank you. Leave a 5-star review. You might even hear yours read on the podcast. Stop overthinking it. I know you're busy, short on time, overwhelmed with conflicting information. That's why I simplify everything so you can take action now. Direct message me to see what I have available. The next shred will be in September. I also will be collaborating with Train with Kate, my sister. So we'll have peanut butter and jelly together, peanut butter and chocolate. That equals results. My sister and I equal results. Thanks for tuning in today. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with somebody that needs to hear it. And remember, you're always doing better than you think you are.